Recording.
And then I'm just going to go to the screen and pin my video. There we go. Okay, great, let's start. The feet, feel the feet, feel the sole of the foot, feel it flat, spreading on the ground, like the bones in the foot relax because the muscles soften, the bones start to spread. Just going to bounce up and down to really feel the feet pressing on the ground. Just got something on my screen, I'll just get rid of it. Yep, there we go. Roll the shoulders. So we roll the shoulders forward, feel the stretch through the back. We open the chest and let the shoulders drop and open, feel the stretch through the chest. Let the hands cross as they come together so that you really get a nice pull through the muscles. We want as much change as possible in the muscles of the back. Just so we take the body or the shoulders to the biggest place they can go to that's comfortable, the biggest change they can feel that's really comfortable. It's rotating in both ways. With loose fists warming up the muscles of the back. At the same time, settling into the feet. I'll go through a few of the loosening exercises. First off, opening up the sternum, pushing the crown of the head up by dropping the chin and using the legs to inflate the body. Feel that sensation of lifting, of stretching, the whole body as one piece of elastic connected muscle, and then soften the legs first, the hip joints, the chest, the shoulders, the throat and the face. Feel the body landing. It's a process. It's not a one-off land. It's the legs change. They take a couple of seconds to melt and change. The chest, the shoulders, the whole body lands slowly and connects. Fold the hips. Use the legs to push the fingertips up. Feel the stretch and the process of releasing straight down and connecting. And if you can, don't think of this as a movement. Think of this as a change inside the body that allows the body to move to a new position. Fold. Just the hips and just the knees. Use the legs, feel the stretch. Make sure as you go up into the stretch, you are tucking the chin, elongating the back of the neck and pushing the crown of the head upwards as well. Release. And settle. Turn to the side by folding the hip joint. Stay upright. You're looking to be upright and grounded and connected, but turn to the corner. Fold. Use the legs. Stretch up way above your head. Try not to let the arms be forward in this position. Make sure, you can't really see me if I go down the arms. Make sure the hands are like right above the head. Not leaning back like this, but right above the head. So the vertical letting go is straight down. It's not to here and then coming down this way. It's to here, in the back of the neck as well. And then the release is through the whole trunk of the body, shoulders dropping, that makes everything fall to the ground. A very different feeling than if you have the hands forwards. It's not like this exercise, where the hands are definitely forwards. It's so that we can feel the whole trunk of the body settling. Make sure when you push up, you're right above the head. Feel that stretch and try and feel where the fingertips are and where the feet are and the line of the body that links those two places. And you're just going to melt down that line. Straight down until everything is released. Then we're going to turn to the side. Fold the hips. Just turning to the side. Fold. One more. Stretch above the head. Feel the fingertips in space. Feel the feet in space. Join them together. Let gravity join them together. Connected. Good. So we're going to do there are 5 loosening exercises, and I want to do the first one and the second one tonight. So the starting position is the same, connected. But the body is in that position, the arms are out to the corners, at the height of the throat or the shoulder. The first movement, I sink and turn. The sinking is exactly the same as when I drop from here. The sinking through the body is exactly the same, but the movement this time is across and turning. And I end up with all my weight on the left foot, so I can pick up the right, all my weight on the left foot, and my hips have turned toward, when I'm on the left foot, my hips have turned to about 1 o'clock, possibly 1:30. I want to be really careful that my knee doesn't collapse. If you look at the angle of my knee, it mustn't fall inwards. The knee stays in place, the hips soften, and I'm sitting onto the leg. All my weight on the left leg, the right leg is free. As I drop the arms, I turn the hips square to the front and lift to the shoulder height. Then exactly the same on the opposite side. I'm sinking, and at the same time, I'm moving across and turning. Turn back and open up. Release. Inflate the leg to turn the hips back and open up. Release the leg and fall onto the right side. Inflate the leg to turn the hips. Release the legs to sink. If you carry on doing this movement, you've got 2 things happening. Definitely everything is sinking when you're moving to the corner. Everything, all the muscles are releasing and you're melting and settling and looking for that connected place where the base, the torso, the head, the shoulders all come together. When you open up and the hips turn back to the front, you're inflating the muscles in the leg in the same way as when we lift up into this exercise. So it's the smallest amount of contraction you can use, the smallest amount to move you back, the smallest amount of contraction from the foot to the hips to turn the body back. Don't do it as a big movement. It's a very small, gradual movement using as little force as you need because the hips are loose. Drop the arms. There we are, square. As soon as you're square, you're starting to release again. There's no holding in the middle. So in effect, it's one movement from here across to here is one movement. So it's like you're throwing a ball from your left leg or your right leg to your left leg, throwing your weight across and it's landing. What you don't want, throw your ball across or throw your weight across and it gets stuck in the middle, because that's the contraction coming up out of this leg that stops you falling into it, which is what we don't want. We want like a hollow tube or pouring water from one glass to another. There's nothing stopping the water going in. So when I move from here to the center and across, the center moves continuously. The center of gravity turns 50-50, keeps turning and moves continuously. Slightly up, because I'm pushing up, and definitely down. Slightly up to square, and definitely spiraling down. And you'll recognize this move because it's the first move of the form, where we separate the feet and we move across, sinking, turning to the corner without stopping, turning back. Keep going, I'd like to see your moves. And if there are any questions, I just need to change the screen so I can see everybody. Yeah. Okay, now I can see everybody. Hi, Joe, didn't see you there earlier. I heard a beep, must have been you coming in just after we started. Okay, so a couple of things. Have a look, take a break and have a look. When you land, you don't want to bounce out. You don't want to land and be bouncing. You want to land and stay sinking, stay sinking, stay sinking, keep coming down. Right? Think of a helicopter landing. Right? Just gently, gently, gently puts itself down. Doesn't want to hit a tense muscle in the leg and have a bounce out of this leg. And as it lands on this leg doesn't want to collapse either. So you're landing into a more compressed, released, pushed onto the ground condition. That's the first thing we're looking for. And the second thing I can see from your movements, not all of you, some people, when you drop, don't lift the wrists. The wrists don't flap. The wrists lift, and then the shoulders drop, and that's what straightens the arm. The shoulder dropping, if I come in a bit closer, here's the arm. The shoulder is the first thing to go, followed by the elbow, followed by the seating of the wrist. It's not that. This is done with a contraction, and you want the hand to be passive at the top. So it's falling. The whole way is falling. Okay, so if you can keep the arms passive, it helps the whole feeling of everything sinking as you go down. Sinking and releasing. And it's exactly the same as at the beginning of the form when we're here. When we sink, we don't want to lift the wrists. When we sink, we drop the body, we drop the shoulders, we drop the elbows, the wrist seat. The wrist falling down rather than the fingertip lifting. So it's the wrists falling down as if they're falling over a bar, and it looks like we've done that, but we haven't. What we've done is we've actually dropped the wrist. Okay, it's a subtle difference. The difference is that you're not flicking on the contraction in the hands, because we want the hands in Taiji to be really passive. We want the force or the energy from the body to come out through the hands. And if we've got tension in the wrist, that's like a hose pipe that's blocked, like a kinked hose pipe. We want the force to be able to come through like the tip of a whip or the tip of a silk scarf. So it's soft in the wrists. And who's got any questions, please ask. I'll just explain a little bit more. This, while I'm watching, this forms part of the 5 loosening exercises that Master Huang, my teacher's teacher, said were the most important exercises in Taiji, because all 5 of them, when you put them together, contain nearly all the principles we need to work with. So a good warm-up might be a little stretch first, maybe, you know, getting the body to move to a more open position, maybe warming up the muscles, rotating the shoulders, and then going through the 5 loosening exercises. So let's have a look at the second loosening exercise. So if you have a break, I'll show you. I'm going to make sure I'm pinned again, so if people watch it from spotlight, that's the one. So the second exercise starts in the same place, and my body is slowly going down over the count of 4. If you look at my head top, right at the top of the screen, it's going down over the count. I won't do my arms to start with. My legs are changing, my lower back's relaxing, my shoulders are dropping, and I'm settling down over the count of 4. And then over the count of 4, my legs are inflating, and I'm coming 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm coming back up. So in effect, all the body's doing is going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and coming back up, 1, 2, 3, 4. The arms give us the counting. So my arms do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm at the bottom, and then I come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm at the top again. That's my highest point. My lowest point is probably an inch or an inch and a half lower than my top point. Okay, let's have a go doing it together. The feet are parallel. It's exactly our standing posture. It's exactly our lifted posture. It's exactly our head top to the sky posture. And it's exactly our releasing and connecting posture. So you start with the hands in the familiar position, same as exercise number 1, and slowly release the muscles. 1, keep releasing. 2, keep releasing. 3, keep releasing, everything finished. 4, slowly inflating the legs. 1, keep inflating the legs. 2, keep inflating the legs. 3, keep inflating the legs. 4, at the top, releasing. 1, softening the legs. 2, continue softening the legs. 3, without stopping, continue softening. 4, continue fully released. Pushing up by contracting the muscles very lightly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm just going to have a break, and I'll just show you what my arms are doing. My arms are dropping. The elbow stays where it is, and the forearm swings up to the front of the chest. So I don't do that. I don't bring my elbows in. Once the arm's dropped, the forearm swings up. And if I do it quickly, it swings up. Slowly, I may just have to encourage it up a little bit. And I can swing once like that, and then twice like that. So 1, left over right. 2, 3, right over left. And if I change that around, it doesn't matter too much. The most important thing is the relaxation of the arms. Switch to gallery so I can look. And if you have any questions, please ask, or if there's anything I'm not explaining clearly for you, please ask. The most important thing is that you don't do it in stages. You don't go down, 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 down. It's one smooth release, like a lift going down in shaft. The lift goes down to the next floor, doesn't stop halfway. Once it starts releasing, It continues to release, 3, 4. Now it's at the bottom, then it comes back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put 70% of your focus on what the legs are doing. Put 70% of your focus on the legs. And just let the swinging arms give you the timing. Okay, going to develop this exercise, going to make it more complicated as you get more familiar with it. But the beginning of it is that it's really simple, just up and down. With the arms just coming up to that, no higher than the shoulders. Don't bring them up here, just no higher than the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at the bottom, I'm coming up. 1, coming up 2, coming up 3, 4, and back to the beginning at the top. Release. 1, 2, 3. The whole body settle down. 4, coming up, inflating the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top. Releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the bottom, all the tension in the body that you need, all the excess tension, you let go of. Of course, you need some tension to hold yourself upright. Of course you do. You don't need excess tension. If you want to feel inside where you feel there's any way you can release, same as we've done before, and make sure that by the time you get to the last one, all that has been released. So you feel like you're settled onto your feet. Shoulders feel like they're settled. The hands are up, but the weight of the arms and the weight of the shoulders, the weight of the center of gravity, lightly pressing you onto your feet. It's the same sensation through the whole body that we have when we finish this exercise. We're upright and we're settled in the body. The only difference here is that the shoulders stay sunk, the arms are in this position. The sensations in the torso, in the legs, on the ground are the same as in the standing posture. I'll just have a little look. If you're anything like me, your mind will be kind of racing between feeling the body, trying to get that right, and feeling the arms and trying to get it right. Aim to put 70% of your focus on the body so you can really ensure that there's a sinking process going on. Remember, it's a process. It's a slow, steady. The knees are bending the whole time you go down. The knees are straightening the whole time you're coming up, but not locked at the top. The trunk of the body is softening the whole time you go down. Engaging and lifting the sternum on the way up. So you're really working with the core stability and the alignment of the body and the changes of the muscles inside the body to enable you to use as little force as possible to move. Good. Yeah, great. So take a break. That's good. I would encourage you to do these two exercises when you practice, because what I'd like to do is build onto them, get us familiar with them, get us familiar with what they work with, and then we can kind of start to layer more into them once you feel settled with them. What I don't want to do is make it too complicated, too overwhelming. There's enough to feel just in the simplicity of it to start with. Does that sound okay? Yeah, great. And if you start to notice any sensations, or you're not sure what to work with, then just ask or email me or whatever. Okay, we can go over it the next week. But we'll do those 2 exercises every week. In a few weeks' time, we'll bring in number 3. A few weeks after that, 4. By the time we get to, I don't know, somewhere in the summer term, we'll be doing all 5 of the exercises. Okay. I don't normally bring them in right at the start when I teach. I like to keep them kind of for the group that's really into Tai Chi, who really want to practice Tai Chi thoroughly and well. Then I'll offer these exercises, because then we can develop them. Let's do a couple more drills, and then we'll go through the form. So the next one is the stepping drill, and we start in ward off left. So with the left foot forward, I'll face you to start with. The left foot forward, the hips sinking and turning to the front. So this settling into the posture is exactly the same as this settling into the posture, or this settling into the posture. It's exactly the same, but here I'm in a bow stance. Bow stance is the left foot forward, left foot bow stance, right foot out to the corner. The hips, if you're anything like me, your hips will naturally want to face the corner, but by softening the front hip and bringing the back hip forward, I turn the hips as I release. So if I'm not released, my hips will naturally face the corner. Slightly, say, instead of facing 12 o'clock, my hips will have a tendency to drift towards 1 o'clock. But by softening the hips and releasing, I can find that turning that brings me square. And I want that turning to be done on a releasing. Soften and turn and sink and stabilize into the posture. Ward off left. We'll do the stepping together. Move forward onto the left foot. Turn to the corner. Step with the right heel. Look down, make sure your feet are at 90 degrees. Move into the 50-50. I'm still facing the corner. The weight is 50-50. Keeping the weight 50-50, pick up the back toes, pivot on the heel. Bring the hips round. And the last little bit of the hips settling and sinking to face the corner. Oop, doggy's coming to play Tai Chi with us. No, he's going back out. Moving on to the right foot, 100% on the right foot. Turn to the corner. 100%, step with the heel. Look down, just make sure your feet are at 90 degrees. Glide in 50-50. As you arrive in the 50-50 position, the ball of the left foot touches down. You're going to stay in the 50-50 position. Turn the hips, bring the back foot in. And if your hips aren't square, the last little bit is sinking, softening the hips and settling down, facing the front. Move forward, trickle the weight into the front back. The back heel peels off the ground. All my weight is in the right foot, my left foot. Turn to the corner. Place the right heel down. Make sure the feet are at 90 degrees. Move in. I'm still facing the corner, and my right foot, the ball of the foot, touches as I reach the centrally stable position. 50-50 weight. I'm going to keep 50-50 weight while I turn in. So the heel of my left foot has got 50-50. The whole of the right foot's got 50-50. As I turn, I maintain that 50-50 weight. And as I sink, 50-50, releasing and spiraling the hips into the posture. Glide forward, trickling the weight into the front foot, the right foot, until the left heel peels off the ground. Feel your alignment from your head top through to your right foot. turn around that axis. Step with the left heel, making sure your feet are at 90 degrees. As you move in, the ball of the left foot touches down. You don't have to push the foot down, just the weight coming in pushes the foot onto the ground. In the middle, 50-50, turn. Final bit of the turn is a sinking and a spiraling of the hips, settling. Carry on. I want to have a look at what you're moving into, the positions you move into, and how you're stepping. David, when you move then, you put more weight in the front foot and then you move back into a 50-50 position. So try and do it when you step, that you move into the 50-50 position, you stay there. Okay. Good. Good. Yeah, just keep going. Okay, so key things we're looking for. Upright throughout the movement. So that means that when you take a step, you're not counterbalancing by leaning forwards in order to step. You stay upright. That means you have to release through the leg and settle onto the leg for your stability. You don't lean forwards to get the counterbalance. You don't tighten your leg to get the stability. You settle and release to get your stability. And if you can, when you move over the leg, that settling is accompanied by the turning to the corner. Over your front foot, sink and settle, turn to the corner to step. Okay, so I can see a few people when you're doing it, that you're over the foot and there's a little bit of holding on that foot, right? So what we want to do is sink into that foot with the muscles releasing until we get that place of being stable. Just wait there, make the changes you need to make to find your stability. Only then turn and step. Okay, if you rush into it and you're half stable and you're half holding on, then your next step is you're going to be practicing being unstable. Okay, so we're going to practice being upright and being released and being stable. So we have to take our time to work out, what is it that's making me unstable? What's making the muscles in the body tight? What's making me not notice my upright posture? If we can answer these questions, then we understand what it is to be stable, released, and connected. Okay, so every time we move, there's a question. Am I released? Am I upright? Am I stable? Sink and turn, step. Move in. Stay in the center. Don't move onto the front foot to turn the back toes in and then sit back again. Move into the center, stay there, turn and settle. Okay, carry on a few more times and then we'll put this into the form. Good, good. Settling process, good. Sinking, letting go, letting your structure support your weight. Good. Okay. Have anyone got any questions with this exercise? Yeah, Norman.
That was very useful, because continually through my practice, exactly as you were saying, I'm often aware that my hips are just on a slight angle. And yeah, so just that softening, just as opposed to more mechanistic.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a nice way of putting it, because it's that obviously it's mechanical, because we're moving parts of the body from point A to point B. Obviously some of it's mechanical, but we want to be doing that from the inside, with control of our bodies on the changes of the muscles on the inside, not just by pushing ourselves into the right posture. So yeah, great, good. Feeling what we're doing. Every time we move, being accountable for every single, gram of pressure that changes, that pulls from one foot to the other. Great, let's go through the form. So what we've done tonight, we've done in the first loosening exercise, we've done this first movement of the form. Move across, smoothly turning, sinking, turn back. And in the stepping, we've gone from holding the ball on the right side to ward off left and back to ward off right again. So those few first moves of the form, I'm not going to talk us through any of that. Just do what we've done already in the exercises. And then once we start to get to ward off right, I'll join in. So align your body from the crown of the head to the feet. Lift the sternum, lift the back of the neck, and release any unnecessary tension. Let your body settle down. Release unnecessary holding. Bend the knees. Ward off right. Settle, facing 3 o'clock. Softening the hips, turn them to 4 o'clock. Weight slightly to the front foot. Turn back, gliding the weight back to the left foot. Sit right back, away from the right fingertips. Left hand drops to the hip joint. When you're fully back, turn open. Lifting the left arm. Turn back, folding at the left elbow. Fingers of the left, one fist from the ear. Move into the 50-50 point, moving towards 3 o'clock. As you reach the 50-50, you're fully sunk, the wrists touch. Sink onto the front foot, relax the shoulders and the arms lift. Glide back to the left foot. Hands, the arms becoming longer, sitting away from the fingers. Move in, the elbows fold to 90 degrees. 50-50 push. Sit away from the fingertips, all your weight sinking into the left foot. When you're fully over the left, turn. Facing 12 o'clock, pass the weight back to the right foot. Facing 1:30, holding the ball. Turn to 12 o'clock, pivot on the ball of the left foot. Bring the left toes in, step left with the heel, move into the 50-50, turn and sink. Single whip. Move forward onto the left foot. Turn to 12 o'clock. Push the heel of the right out. Posture of lifting hands. Drop the hands. Right protects the groin, the left lifts as you turn. Turn back and the left folds. Step to the corner, 10:30 with the right foot. Sink into the posture, shoulder stroke. Move on to the right foot, turning to 12 o'clock. Drop the left and lift the right as you spiral up. Bring in the ball of the left foot and finally sink. White crane, spreads wings, turn and chop. Turn, drop the right arm, lift the left. Keep dropping the right hand and lift it, hands parallel to the 1:30 corner. Turn back and fold the elbows, all the weight on the left, step on the right, step left. Move in. As you sink, square the hips to 9 o'clock. Brush left knee twister. Drop onto the left foot. Flick the right heel. Lift the hands. Sink onto the right leg. Draw the toes of the left in. Push out the heel. Play guitar. Turn open, dropping the right hand palm up to the hip joint. Parallel behind. Turn and the elbows fold. Step left. Move in. Brush left knee. Twist step. Finally sinking and squaring to 9 o'clock. Sit back from the right hand. Hand drops to the thigh. Turn open to 8 o'clock. Walk onto the left foot. Lift both hands and the right knee. Turn to 9 o'clock. Put the foot down to 10:30. Walk onto the right foot. Drop the right hand. Push out the left as you turn. Just going to adjust. Take a step with the left. Move into the 50-50. Turn to square to 9 o'clock. Sink in and punch. Punch is straight ahead. Fist is parallel, forearms parallel to the ground. The left hand is just covering about an inch, hovering above the elbow, just covering that soft part of the arm in here, just covering over it. So there's a gap there. And the punch is straight ahead. It's not to the side, it's straight ahead. Let's do that last little move again. Go from white crane spreads wings, facing 9 o'clock. I will do it facing you this time. Turn and chop. Drop the right hand, lift the left. Turn open. Hands arrive at the same time as the turn finishes. From the beginning again, from white crane spreads wings, all the weight on the right foot. The left hand one span, the right hand one span from the ground. Left thumb on the thigh, all of the left foot lightly on the ground. Turn and chop. Drop the right hand, lift the left. Continue dropping the right hand, turn open. As you finish the turn, the hands are parallel behind you. Turn back and the elbows fold, just like windscreen wipers. Step left, move in. You'll notice that you're not facing 9 o'clock. You have to sink and square the hips. As you settle into your final sunk, released position, you soften the hips and square. dropping into the posture. Brush left knee, twist step. The right hand is the same as in push. The left hand is by the thigh. Drop forward onto the left foot and turn to the corner. Right hand by the side. Flick the heel. Step behind. Lift both hands as you sit back. When all your weight is on the right foot, sink, relaxing the shoulders, dropping the elbows, dropping the hands into the posture. Pull in the toes of the left and push out the heel. There's no weight in the heel. If you bring the foot through, it misses the right foot. Fingers of the left hand are on the center line of the body. One span from the body to the left elbow, the fingers of the right just touching the left elbow. Turn. Hands arrive when you finish the turn. Turn back and fold the elbows. Step left. Move in. Brush left knee, twist step. Finally sinking and turning the hips square to 9 o'clock. Sit back, drop the right hand by the side. Turn to 8 o'clock. Move on to the left foot. When you feel stable on the left, lift the hands followed by the knee. Turn. Place the right foot to 10:30. Turn as you sink onto the right foot. If you do it well, your left knee will touch the calf of your right, sinking in. As you turn, your right hand is drawn back, your left hand pushes forwards. Step with the left heel, move in 50-50. Turn, sink and square. Punch. Any questions with that section? Anything in that you want broken down or look at in more detail? Check the time. Got plenty of time to look at that section. Can I have a look at you go through that? Is that a question, Janice? Okay, from white crane spreads wings. Do it whichever direction you feel comfortable with. Do it facing your normal direction or whichever direction you feel comfortable with. Turn and chop. In your own time. Once you got to the end, try to start, do it again from the beginning, from white crane spreads wings. Okay. Couple of key things in Taiji we want to try and find. When we move the arms, you could try this with me. When we lift the body, the arms lift up. When we sink the body, the arms drop. The arms are guided not by what they do themselves, but because the body's lifting, the arms come with it. When the body sinks, the shoulders drop and the arms follow. That's the up and down. Turning to the side, the arms don't move by themselves. It's always the center that turns. As you turn to the left, the arms follow to the left. As you turn to the right, the hands follow to the right. If we can get this idea that the arms only really move because the center moves, then we can put that into the form. So when we take the step and we move on to it, if I go back, you can see my feet more. So here, when I move in here, when I lift, when I turn, this isn't the arms and the leg moving. This is the center of gravity turning. And the foot that's up and the hands that are up have to follow it. When I put the foot down, it's not that I step, I lower myself. I lower myself in and I keep lowering myself onto my right foot. And that is one sinking, spiraling movement in. Bam. So from here, I turn until I face 9 o'clock. Then I put the foot down to 10:30 by lowering the body, and I continue lowering and spiraling, looking for my stability in the right leg until there's just a little bit of weight in the ball of the left foot. You can see how my heel of my left is off the ground. Let's just do that one move. So we're going to start facing 9 o'clock. We sit back, turn to 8 o'clock, move forward onto the left foot. Nice and slowly, drop by drop, lift. Sinking for stability, but lifting the arms, lifting the leg. Turn to 9 o'clock. Now, lower onto your left leg to lower the right leg onto the ground. Continue lowering, continuing to bend the right knee, pouring your weight into the right foot, spiraling and turning. The turning of the center draws the right arm back and the left hand forward. So if your hands are in front of you this way, if you have a look just a second, there's another movement as well. There's this horizontal movement, but there's also this spiraling movement. So if I turn my center, my right hand is drawn in and my left hand is drawn forwards. So the hands stay on that parallel track. By turning my waist, one draws in and one pushes forwards. And I'm turning my right hip, sinking onto my right side. So my right hand is drawn in, fist palm up on the right. Mainly because my shoulder comes back, my hips turn, my shoulder comes back, my arm's drawn in. My left hand, my left hip goes forward, my left shoulder goes forward, my left hand goes forward. So this movement here comes from the turning of the waist rather than just doing it with the hands. Doing it with the hands would be an external martial art using the arm muscles. Internal, the whole body is changing. So just try standing with your hands at the height of the shoulders. Turn the waist, sinking onto the right foot. Draw the right hand in, let the left hand move forwards. The left hand, the elbow drops and the hand ends up more vertical. I'm ending up with my weight in the right foot. Turn, turn, sink and turn. Stay stable in the right foot. The weight's coming into the right foot. Turn. Drop the fist into the hip. Let the left hand push forwards. Turn. Again, sink, turn. Make sure when you finish the turn, the right hand is drawn in, finishes its movement at the same time as the turning finishes. Left hand arrives, same time as the turning finishes. That's the movement we're looking for. Both hands are rotating. Both hands are rotating because you're dropping the shoulders. Here, both hands are rotating. Your right hand rotates palm up, and your left hand rotates both going forwards. If we put it into the move, it looks like this. Sit back. Make sure you can see my feet. Sit back. Turn open to the corner. Move in. Lift the hands and the knee. Turn. Place the foot. Now the turning. But at the same time, I'm moving forwards onto my right foot, turning, drawing the right back, the left forward. Step, move in, square the hips, and punch. Have a go a few times. From brush left knee twist step. Facing 9 o'clock. Sit back. Turn to the corner. Move in. Onto the left foot lift. Turn to 9 o'clock. Sink and place the right heel. 10:30. Walk onto it, turning. Keep walking onto it, keep turning. By the time you finish the turn, 100% on the right foot. Step left. Move in. Square the hips. Sink and punch. Good. Okay, so we will celebrate by going through the whole of the form to there. Okay, to finish the class. Let's go. Body nice and upright. Stretch the body up. Release the body down. Give your body time to settle. Feel the sensations in the body. Encourage the muscles to melt. Bend the knees. Settle down. Small inflation in the legs and release in the legs. The whole body melts into alignment, into a connected position. Turn. Sit back. Holding the ball. Ward off right. Ward off left. Second ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single weight. And and settle in single whip. Trickle the weight forwards, lifting hands. Shoulder stroke to the corner. Onto the right foot, turn into the front, 12 o'clock, white crane, sprint wings. And settle. Turn and chop. Brush left knee, twister. Play guitar. Brush left knee, twist up second time. Here's the move we've just done. Sit back towards 8 o'clock onto the left foot, lift the hands, lift the knee. Turn to 9 o'clock, place the right foot, walk onto it, turning. Drawing the fist, palm up onto the right hip, the left hand in front to 9 o'clock. Step left to 9 o'clock, move in, square, sink and punch. Great, good. So we are 2 moves away from the end of the first third of the form. So one of the moves we know already, which is push, and then we've got one little move. So next week, hopefully, all going well and everyone feeling comfortable with where we're up to there, we can get to the end of the first third. That's my aim for next week. So great, practice that little move and see how you get on. Great, thank you very much. See you next week, and I'll send you the video tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.